What's going on, guys? So today on this 00CTOBER extra review that is just for you patrons until November, we have the HG Build Fighters Cheridum Gundam Saga Type Hgbf. And this was, of course, the amazing Kawaguchi suit that he used in that one battle log versus the Renato brothers in the Jinx Striker and the Hgbf type. So we saw this on screen briefly. He did shoot off a few things. Unfortunately, we didn't really get a whole lot of screen time with it. They seem to waste a lot more time with the PGXia, oddly enough. But hey, we got a cool image here of the Cheridum Saga, which is, of course, a different version of the Cheridum. It was actually a thing in one of the side stories, I guess, but in this case, it's the Hgbf version. So actually, the colors are a little bit different. You got particles all over here. You got shooting over here. Big gun there. You got Cheridum's Gundam Saga there. Bandai 2017. Pretty cool. You got rocks and stuff exploding back here. Oh, and battle log. Come to the bottom and you've got action. It can do action-y things. And you've got shoulder, and you've got hand, and you've got head, and you've got G and small shield. And recreate dynamic poses with super flexible parts. Right. Weapons. It's got a bunch of them. And come over here and you've got, hey, I've got a gun and custom parts that you don't actually have. And you come to the other side, you've got HG Build Fighters, number 64 on the line. There was a lot of kits in Build Fighters. BandaiHobby.net, Gundam Cheridum Saga, all the little thingies right there across the band. Repeat of the box art. And on the final side, you've got obligatory front. Oh, and rear shot. And you got the read up right there. If you want to read that, go ahead and pause it. Give it a quick read. Okay. And you go right there. You got little 3-year-olds don't like Cheridum Sagas in their eyes because it's guns. And you should not put guns in 3-year-olds' faces. And you got a little guy with the toilet. 1,800 yen. Nice affordable kit considering what all comes in this box. And you got illustration is by Koma. Background images by Saito Yoshinobu. New version of the Cheridum. Still upside down. Ha. Alright, so let's get to it. New Cheridum. Alright, guys, here we have the Cheridum Saga out here and looking, well, kind of dull. The color scheme on it is very, very muted. It gets away from the greens of a standard Cheridum and goes with a bunch of different grays, which makes you wonder why Meijin did it. Now, whether the actual Cheridum Saga looks like this, I don't know. I didn't look it up, but hey, it's actually pretty cool. And given that I built at least one Cheridum before in my life, I actually did enjoy this build. It was fairly quick. I didn't do a ton of detail work, but I did very little, in fact. Okay, so he does actually come with green clear parts, such as this over here on the shield, and they do give you a cool chrome sticker to go back there, so you can see a hi in the reflection. I like that, and I believe the texture is actually part of the clear plastic. That's pretty good. The visor, or camera I should say, right there, you do get a green bit. What I did do, I'm trying to remember if he had a sticker for that. I think he did. So there is actually a sticker that goes back there. But one thing I want to show off real quick, if I can get it out here. So you get the arms, right? Right. So you get the arms, and you get the little circle, stuff like that. One thing I had left over a bit for this guy was some chrome stickers. So I did stick it behind there to make it glow a little bit. And I think it does help to make it stand out and shine a little bit more. I did the same thing on another kit that we'll be looking at very, very soon. But for the most part, I did that. Actually, in here, this is also a green piece. It's really hard to tell. And I put just a hair, or a little bit of chrome sticker behind it to try to help it. But the way the lighting is here, I doubt it's ever going to look like it's lighting up. Got crud on the table here. But as it goes for the Cheridum, oops, popping off the main camera here. It's actually very cool. Very, very similar to a standard Cheridum, just has a few things different. I believe just these knee armors are different. These side skirts are different. The chest is very different. The head is virtually the same. The shield is, of course, a new bit here. But everything else is basically straight up Cheridum. But you do get this new butt skirt back here instead of the GN drive hanging off the back. And also you get my favorite gold paint there for the GN thrusters. And the weapons that I forgot to remove, which would be his little GN gun pistols, whatever you want to call them. Gun pistols, blade guns. With a little bit of metallic red Gundam marker there to make it look cool, basically. There's not a whole lot of other stuff going on there. Now, real quick, we'll go over articulation, because he has plenty of weapons to look at, so we'll do that. Head is on standard double ball joint, so gotta watch that crest. It does want to come off. He can turkey neck with the best of them, but it pops right off. You do have to watch this little dual antenna right here. I'm going to raise the camera up just a little bit, give myself some more room to work. And the arms are on butterfly ball joints right here with the polycaps. You can go all the way around, just watch out for the guns. Now, one thing I'm hoping is that I don't have the problem with these guns that I do with the original Cheridum, where they are breaking on me. Okay, so arm goes all the way around. The mounts here on the shoulders do pull out and rotate. Just be careful because you might end up pulling the whole thing out. The shield itself does not rotate. It is on a minor hinge. You do get this extra armor here. Bicep swivel. And single jointed main elbow plus the extra elbow / wrist vertical movement there, along with ball joint mounted wrist down here as usual. You got a little bit of an ab crunch, just ever so much. You can rotate at the waist. Skirts are flip-floppy. I did leave them tied together because the ball joints are kind of small. If you want to risk, go ahead and cut them. That's fine. You do get a hip that completely worked its way off. So standard hip right there. It does do the shimmy like so. Does it do the twisty? Yeah, it does do the twisty shimmy as well. Thigh rotation. I don't think that thigh doesn't want to be. There we go. You've got double jointed knees. It's a little bit limited, so that's pretty much all you're going to get there, which is really strange. Ankle, he does have this extended ankle here, so you have the kind of rocker back and forth and the side-to-side rocker, and then the guns keep falling off. That's nothing unusual. And you have ball joint down here for even more foot articulation, and you do get these little props here that can either stand up or stay back, depending on how you're going to have him standing. But for the most part, he's fairly well articulated for a big gun-wielding Gundam. Now, also, I forgot, the back thrusters here do have big ball joints, and he does have a thing that if you chose to use it, you still could. The kind of sniper targeting system here, you can fold that out still. And this is one place where I actually added some chrome sticker from the PG Exia. So with that reverse chrome sticker, I actually put that in there, helps it glow a little bit. I want to show that off before we talk weapons, because he does have quite a few, as one would expect from a Cheridum. Also, real quick, left expressive hand. Yoink that out. Put that in there. And now he can be grabbing at things. He better not be grabbing at things. The side skirt's just going crazy. Look at that. Alright. Weapons. We already saw the twin blade pistols here. GN pistols, whatever you want to call them. Uses these a couple times in at least the regular series. They're pretty cool. I like them. Kind of short range-ish weapons plus melee at the same time. Apparently there's been a decent discussion about the reason why the Cheridum has weapons like this in the comments. It is what it is. He doesn't like beam sabers. That's why he doesn't come with any. Now, he does come with these little guys, which should look kind of familiar. Very, very similar, if not almost identical to the ones that come on the Estrella Type F. And you open it up, and there's another cool GN pistol. Oh, and look at that cool green custom sticker there, cut out by me. And you can put that in the hand, just like that. So he's got two different types of pistols. As for the actual holster here, you just plug it to the side skirt, like so. And he can be like pew pew, pew pew. And of course, he does have a second one with a second pistol. For the most part, he's like doubled up on almost every weapon, including these guys. So he's got some like GN machine guns, I believe. Hold on, let me take this out of his hands. So you can take the nice little machine guns here. I like what they did here because they actually put the clear translucent plastic inside that top part. I dig that. I dig that a lot. And no roll camera for these guys, although it would probably be like right there. You can dual wield these guys. Also has the support handle hanging out the side there if you wanted to use two hands, but it is what it is, so you can just be like, got two guns, one for each of you. Oh wait, there's three of you. Ah, okay. Come on, get out of there. He does hold the weapons actually fairly well. The hands haven't had time to really work loose like they eventually will. Now the cool thing is with these, you have this big slot on the bottom, which goes on the tab on the knees. So this guy, instead of having a whole bunch of shield bits and stuff hanging off of him, he has just guns. Lots and lots of guns hanging off of him, which is the reason for it. So basically, Saga is actually an acronym. I'm not going to sit here and spell it out for you. If you want to look it up, by all means, go ahead. But basically, it just means that, like the 7 swords, where he has a whole lot of extra weapons and stuff like that, it's basically the same kind of program. Now, one thing he does here, he gets a nice assault rifle, which is pretty cool. I like this design. First time I've seen anything like it. You get the translucent bit up here. You get purple stickers right here. If you have that light purple marker, you could totally paint it with that if you wanted to, and another translucent piece right up here. Looks really, really neat. I dig this thing, even though it's a couple of just a couple of pieces thrown together. It's pretty simple. You do get the flip-floppy handle, and you get a big clippy right there, which he does clip to the shoulder. And this one gives him some extended range in this show, but he doesn't really have like sniper range with that. This one is meant for more closer range attacks, basically. But it's still pretty cool. I dig that. And you also get a spare just in the instructions. So I went ahead and put mine together so he could have dual weapons. And if you want to, take the shield off over here. The peg to secure it is just right there, and it does rotate to either direction, so you could have twin rifles on the shoulders if you really want to. Now the only thing that sucks, the way it's mounted, you cannot rotate it to aim it forward or anything. He would have to aim his whole arm forward, which I think we see him do, but this gives you a cool idea of what he can technically do if you really wanted to. If you want to do this number right here. The tabs for the knee guns is actually very, very powerful. It's a powerful tab. So here you go. He can really be shooting at all the things over there. Just dwa. That's actually very cool. Now, one other thing he does have is a new thingy for the sniping crust. A little phlegmy, sorry guys. So you pull that off, and of course you see the normal gap right there. You take this tiny little adapter, and you put it in there. And you put this back on, like you do. And it lowers it down. So it's basically covering the eyes. So it's kind of like a monoscope, which is pretty cool. So instead of using like the holographic thingy, I'm guessing this is what he's changed it out for. I like it. I think it's pretty cool. Oh, by the way, one thing I forgot to mention, guys. So on the V-fin here and on the antenna, I did remove the safety nubs, so they're a little bit sharper. It does look pretty cool. So if you want, you can have your Cheridum Saga just shooting all the guns everywhere. I do wish he had like sub-arms on the legs to shoot the machine guns or something. I think that would be pretty cool. But basically, to some degree, it definitely reminds me of the Estrella type F with just basically having all the guns. All the guns, all the things. I'll take you all on. I dig it. Alright, for a couple comparisons, let's go ahead and do the direct comparison with the previous Cheridum. Now, mind you, this is the heavy weapons version, so he does have all the extra shields and stuff like that, and the rifle bits, whereas this one doesn't use bits at all. And here's one thing you can see the difference. So there's the part there for the clear thingy on the sides versus the one on this guy. And you can see this is a much brighter green. So this one uses a lot more brighter green clear plastics plus that chrome part I put under there. Made a big difference. Whereas on this one, they're almost perfectly clear or even the light blue. So even the bit here, the holographic targeting system there, he does come with that, but it's also like a good dark green plastic. Now, of course, you do have a totally different camera system here, so you've got the big red jewel there where you have the camera right there, and all the chest differences there. This one does come with everything to build the basic version of the Cheridum, not the heavy weapons version. So you can actually do some cool stuff with it if you really want to. It even comes with the shield bits, clear parts. Now, I was mistakenly saying in the Gaddis review that this guy would come with the same kind of setup for the bits. It does not. It comes with the same one that he comes with, which is fairly limited for sure. But you can also see this one has the GN drive butt skirt here, whereas this guy does not. But what he does have is something I forgot weapon-wise. He does have this little GN kind of missile pod or like grenade pod, whatever. I could paint these a little bit gold or some silver or something like that, but they're probably never going to be seen, so I'm just going to leave them in there. I like this little hinge mechanism, though. That's pretty cool. But for the most part, that's your big differences in your Cheridums. Also, the main chest part underneath where he has like the fins and stuff like that, or the not fins, the vents, that's what I was looking for, is different. Of course, you don't have that on this guy. But for the most part, this is a very cool custom-ish version. I know the Saga was a thing, but I like that this has a little bit of Kawaguchi flair. Now, I don't know the exact differences, but hey, it's a thing. And there he is against his rivals from that episode of Battlelog. Now, one thing I always wondered is, I mean, their tactics were pretty good, but they actually beat the Mijin in a non-competitive match. So, I mean, they were capable. Or did he let them win? I can't tell. From watching the series, it almost seems like he was mocking them a little bit. Also, in the fact that he really challenged them by throwing a perfect grade Exia at them versus their high grades, which is pretty crazy in its own right. So, but it's pretty cool that, you know, we got to see a really random, cool version of a Gundam we like versus some really cool custom versions of a Jinx we like. Well, I like, anyways. Alright guys, so final thoughts wise, I enjoyed this kit. It was actually pretty fun. I didn't do a ton of Gundams this year, so this one was a nice change of pace, especially after doing Jinx Week and all of that mess. So it's a fun custom version, or fun heavy weapons version of this kit. I dig it. I like the extra weapons, so I mean, even if you want to, you could totally add this extra gun on here. He does come with the standard sniper rifle, so if you really want to mix that up, go right ahead. If you want to add in some of the bits, by all means. It does come with virtually all the parts to make a normal Cheridum, so if you really want to make a cool custom version, by all means, go for it. You even get some extra clear parts and stuff like that. If you have the ability and extra foil stickers, I think it's definitely worth adding to all of the exposed things. I think it definitely helps. Now, I'm trying to remember if I added them to that one or that etching is on the other thing. I think I added a chrome sticker behind the camera there, so it is what it is. I really do dig this. The color scheme is kind of meh. But other than that, I did forget one thing when I was talking about details. This part right here is a sticker. It stood out to me after the fact. Some of you guys are probably yelling at me at the screen, and I'm sorry I can't hear you. I'm in the past. And not in the same room, in case you're wondering. But hey, I definitely recommend it. Go grab you one if you're a fan of it. And I believe some of these weapons come in the 24th Century pack, so you can also get some of that along with Buster Sword and stuff like that from the Type Hgbf. Jinx. But guys, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a big old thumbs up. And of course, if you are not, of course you guys are because you're on the Patreon, but guys, otherwise, go ahead and hit that Patreon button down there. I can use all the help I can get. If you saw the video I posted before, I'm probably going to add, you guys probably see this, obviously you're going to see this before everybody else, but I'm probably going to add a $1 donation section. Just because. A little bit easier for some people to swallow. Maybe it'll definitely help out. But, guys, if you want to help out in other ways, go ahead and hit up the Shoki store. Of course, 00CTOBER is over for most of you, but for the Patreon, it is not. Go ahead and hit up all of the normal Shoki shirts, plus all of the 00CTOBER shirts, the classics, and the 2018 tour shirts, by all means. I think they're pretty cool. I need more people to buy them. I really do dig them. And hey, winter is here, or at least cold weather is here finally. So I'm probably going to pick up a hoodie sometime soon, as soon as I can. I do know my good buddy Chris already did. But guys, that's going to be it for this review. And remember, as always, to keep on building.